Hello and welcome back to the Final Fantasy IX and Skyrim level 99 grind and grind. I'm Circle Master. Jen's Duck is here, claiming to be first. I haven't heard any evidence that Jen's Duck is first though. Book Thief's also here. Greetings, Book Thief. Perhaps you might in fact be first. Who can say? Only the Goog can say with the sound alert. I am doing weird, Book Thief. I should probably hit the button though. Also, I'm dumb and forgot to do a tweet. So let's really quickly, hopefully, actually tell people on Twitter that I'm streaming.
Hear ye, hear ye. Let the record show that this viewer was here first.
Wait, am I on the wrong? I've been on the wrong screen. Oh my goodness. And with that, we've seen that Jen's Duck is in fact first. Thank you very much to the Goog for providing that sound alert. You should check out his Twitch channel, twitch.tv/the_Goog. He streams mini motorways every morning, Hades on Tuesdays, Horizon Forbidden West on Thursdays, and variety stuff on Fridays. He's also on the East Coast, so he's already asleep by now. But yeah, I was thinking, for whatever reason, about the dumbest possible thing I could do. And the dumbest possible thing I could do would require me to be able to grind full time. So it's not actually a thing that I can do, but it's something that I could do theoretically. Neither of those things, because neither of those things involve grinding full time. But grinding full time on a hunger strike. Just grind and sleep and drink water and take vitamins and refuse to eat until Tails is level 99 in Final Fantasy IX. That's the stupidest thing. Because I would die. Probably. I'm still auto-running, right? Yes, I am. Okay. Just making sure. I don't know where I'm at in stealth. I don't remember what the circumstances were of the last stream. That's for the picker wheel for the Super Nintendo thing, which I've kind of put to the side because Lufia and the Fortress of Doom demanded that I grind. And if I'm gonna grind, I should probably be grinding this game, and not Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. And unfortunately, I do not have the manual dexterity to grind Final Fantasy IX alongside Lufia and the Fortress of Doom. So priorities must be adhered to. Excuse me. You know what else must be adhered to? Table topics. Everybody loves table topics. The last couple haven't been that bad. I've gotten some... We've had some talks about the last couple table topics. Maybe I've misjudged them. Maybe it was just front-loaded with bad ones. And maybe tonight's will continue that trend of being good. Lufia absolutely does not do that. You have, like, the scripted story sequence, maybe. But then you know, go to the actual main party and their scrubs. The Lufia does not start you off in a meaningful way at max level. Because I'm not grinding to 99 in the starting area of Lufia, I am like playing Lufia to completion, allegedly. Except I'm not, because I'm doing this instead. So for tonight's table topic, we have... Would you be able to destroy the One Ring? No. I do not have access to an active volcano. Or a dragon's belly. I can't speak for everybody. I know that there are parts of the world that have active volcanoes. But they are not near to me. Well, Lufia threw enough coins in the fountain, and throwing coins in the fountain also definitely does not destroy the One Ring. It is probably worth pointing out that a lot of dwarves in Dwarf Fortress could destroy the One Ring. Because a pretty common strategy, at least back when I had any familiarity with Dwarf Fortress at all, was that you wanted to get Magma Forges up and running relatively quickly. And, you know, there you go. You've got a forge fired by the heat of a volcano. You can destroy the One Ring in that. That I guess technically also means it's pretty trivial to destroy the One Ring in Minecraft, too. Now that would be a terrible book. Give the One Ring to Minecraft Steve, and in 5 minutes he finds an open lava flow and tosses the One Ring in, and it's destroyed. That would be pretty bad, Book Thief. The other bad thing that could happen is you could have one of your craft stores go into a mood. What do they call it? A strange mood? Where they want to make a legendary thing and they like lock themselves in their room and refuse to come out until they either have all the necessary supplies or they die. So I can just imagine a crafts dwarf seeing the One Ring, having a strange mood, and then they lock themselves in their room with it until you give them a turtle shell, a topaz, and 3 barrels. I don't know. And then a month later, they come out, and the One Ring is now part of a floor engraving somehow. For some reason, this discussion is not making me want to play Dwarf Fortress, but it is making me want to play Tome. Explain that to me. Hey, look at that. We crossed 20,000 XP to go. So yeah, I'm just picturing wow, my brain just hit eject on that sentence before it even got started. I have no idea what I was about to say. New topic. Out of left field. I know what game I'm going to make a Let's Play of next. Because the other game that I want to make a Let's Play of refuses to release DLC. So I've started playing a game. And coughing. I started playing a game called The Centennial Case, a Shijima Story. It is... in my brain, it is a combination of Shadow of Destiny and Contradiction Spot the Liar. Wherein, like Contradiction Spot the Liar, it is an FMV game with basically the entire game is full motion video. Mystery solving. But like Shadow of Destiny, it involves time, different time periods, and it's made in Japan. It's actually published by Square Enix. So it has a little bit of weight behind it. Like, I don't know what their budget was. It's super obviously made in Japan. Like, all of the characters are Japanese. It's set in Japan. And the original dialogue is in Japanese. I decided to start playing it with the English dub. So you have an American, or at least Asian American. They all speak English. They all sound American. But, they're voice actors, so they could be, just Japanese people who are native or are fluent English speakers speaking with American accents. But the point is, the dub is not good. The English is competent. Book Thief returns. Oh my goodness, Book Thief, you've missed this whole thing. So, this is a full motion video game made in Japan. Japanese cast originally. English dub. The English is competent, but not well acted. There are strange decisions in terms of character accents. And they clearly did the reads, like recorded the dialogue, in an attempt to make the lines match the lip sync of the Japanese actors. Which means that they will sometimes kind of weirdly pause mid-sentence because the Japanese dialogue has a break there where the actors aren't speaking. So the English translation, because of the way it's written, just pauses mid-sentence and waits for the lips to move again for the dub to continue. Which means that it's very hilarious to look at. It's so bad. It's so bad that it's great, and this game is called The Centennial Case, A Shijima Story. And I'm already berating Dan and Grace, who joined me for the Shadow of Destiny Let's Play, to join me for this Let's Play. Because Grace has a history with the mystery genre. And Grace is gonna get mad at some parts already. Like, I'm only like 2 chapters in. I think there are 5 total. I'm not sure on that. And already I'm like, ooh, Grace is gonna get so mad, he's gonna get pissed. The thing is that it's, like, the game itself isn't horrifically bad. It's like Contradiction Spot the Liar, where it's not a AAA title. It's clearly not trying to be a AAA title. And it is competent in gameplay and entertaining enough that, like, if you watch the first episode of the Let's Play and you're, like, entertained by it, I would strongly suggest that you buy the game and play it yourself. Just so you, like, get to play the game spoiler-free. The main obstacle to that is, like I said, this is not a AAA production. This is, like, I'm not even sure it's a AA production. This might be like a Hello Games No Man's Sky situation, where this is like a definitely indie dev who has just gotten a AAA publisher to publish their game for them. But this game is priced very aggressively. It is a $50 game on Steam. It's really hard to pull the trigger on this game just hearing the premise or after seeing one episode of a Let's Play. But this game, like, I have no regrets. I haven't even finished the game, and I'm like, yeah, this is going to be worth for me. Just because this is ticking all the right boxes for me. Because, like, video game, like, movies, let's talk about so bad it's good. Let's talk about so bad it's good. Movies can be so bad it's good much more easily than a video game can. Because you consume movies passively. You can have a classic bad movie like The Room, Suburban Sasquatch, Samurai Cop, where you can tune in for the so bad it's funny parts and tune out for the bad parts. Like, you can watch The Room and you can laugh at all the Tommy Wiseau dialogue and the weird everything about every piece of dialogue in the movie. My God, The Room. But The Room has like 3 sex scenes in it, and none of them are things that any human being would want to watch. You can just like take that opportunity to use the restroom. That's your bathroom break. That's your smoke break. That's your get more snacks. Your whatever. Get some more of your pizza that's half Canadian bacon and pineapple and half artichoke hearts with pesto. Because that's obviously a pizza that somebody would make. And you won't have to suffer through watching Tommy Wiseau have a sex scene with somebody who looks like the bloated corpse of Britney Spears. Yeah, that is a pizza that they order in The Room. They don't actually get that pizza. In the scene where they're eating the pizza, it's a plain cheese pizza. So clearly the pizza delivery company thought they were messing with them and just sent them a cheese pizza instead. So yeah, because movies are passively engaged, you can drop in and drop out as it becomes hilariously bad and then tragically bad. A video game is actively engaged. A video game that is so bad it's good can only be so bad. Pizza is your least favorite... Okay, we'll talk about that in a second, Jen's Duck. But first, let me finish this point. In a video game, the quality of the dialogue, or the voice dub, or the whatever, can be terrible and funny at the same time. But the quality of the gameplay is not allowed to be too bad. Because if playing the game sucks, you're not gonna hang in there for it. And you can't disengage from it the way you can disengage from uncomfortable scenes in bad movies. You can't take a smoke break instead of doing the mandatory stealth section in a bad video game. You have to do the mandatory stealth section. And it's just miserable. There is no such thing as a mandatory stealth section that's so bad it's good. There is no such thing as a turret sequence that's so bad it's good. Gameplay has to meet a standard of competency that lets you continue playing so that you can reach those so bad it's good parts that are ultimately a passive part of the game. So making a video game that's so bad it's good requires you to kind of be better at making video games than people who make good video games. I would not be able to go back and replay Witcher 1. I'm sorry. Like, Witcher 1 has some really bad reads, like line reads in the English language. Especially the non-enhanced edition, to my understanding. But, like, the combat's such a slog. And Chapter 4 is so weird and bad. So yeah, it's kind of like you see movies made that are intended to be so bad it's good, and they fall flat. You know, your Birdemics, your 18 million ripoffs of Sharknado, possibly even Sharknado. I never saw Sharknado, but like nobody talks about it anymore, which makes me think that it's just bad. Movies that are trying to be tongue-in-cheek and trying to be like, wink wink, we're in on the joke, are overwhelmingly just bad and uncomfortable to watch. And the real comedy in a so bad it's good movie, what makes it good, is the earnestness behind the filmmaking. Like, Tommy Wiseau really thought he was making a good movie when he made The Room. And that earnestness is what elevates it and makes it something that you can laugh at and enjoy for its horrible, like, the lack of self-awareness is why you can laugh at it. That's half of what makes it funny. Birdemic was not made with any earnestness. So there's really nothing to there's nothing to empathize with. Because we've all tried to do things and failed. We can empathize with failure. We can laugh at failure, but ultimately that comes from understanding our own failures. Like, if you are the type of person who genuinely thinks that you are better than everyone, then you probably aren't the type of person to find So Bad It's Good movies funny. You would just have disdain for them. So to make a So Bad It's Good video game, you need the earnestness, you need the competency, but you also need the lack of self-awareness. It's really hard to like put together into a single distilled product. It's lightning in a bottle. Like, Heavy Rain is often what comes to mind when I think of a So Bad It's Good video game. 'Cause, like, David Cage tried his heart out. His heart was laid bare on his sleeve. Hey, Joey's cool. And it's just so bad. And it also helps that it's super passive to engage with. It's button prompts and it's watching bad cutscenes and dialogue. So Heavy Rain is a So Bad It's Good video game in a way that Detroit Become Human is not. For one thing, Detroit Become Human is more competent. So the fact that it fails feels so much worse because you can see the glimmer of greatness within it. There's no glimmer of greatness in The Room. But there are glimmers of greatness in Detroit Become Human. There are things that Detroit Become Human has done better than any other branching path narrative game, or any narrative game, ever. I wish every narrative game stole the flowchart at the end of each chapter that Detroit Become Human did. I wish they stole the ability to start the game from any chapter, so you can fill that out. Clancy Brown did such an amazing job in that game. Clancy Brown's character, like everybody, not everybody, most people, I haven't been hitting the button, I don't think. I'm gonna hit the button. Most people would say that I just blanked out on the character's name. Brian Deckard's character. It is not coming to my head. Anyway, most people say that the buddy cop segment with Clancy Brown and Brian Deckard, whose character names I've utterly forgotten, are the best parts. And, you know, nothing against Brian Deckard, but I think Clancy Brown is a big reason for that. Clancy Brown is a brilliant actor who is horribly underappreciated. That's probably true of a lot of character actors. But I watched Starship Troopers the other week again. It's great. Anyway. So it's like it's too good of a game to be so bad it's good. But at the same time, the parts that would normally be so bad it's good, like the plot, the story, the acting, and everything. Like, the story and the writing are what's really bad about Detroit Become Human, and it's really bad in a really uncomfortable way. Because of the subject matter being, you know, racism and so poorly handled. Just David Cage just cannot. No, why? Fahrenheit Indigo Prophecy might... The problem with Fahrenheit/Indigo Prophecy is, one, the story is impenetrable. There are, like, scenes in it that are, like... There are scenes in it that you could cut out and show to somebody, and they would get, like, wow, this is terrible, haha. But, like, if you tried to explain what the hell's going on, you lose somebody. And if you try to show them the game, like, if somebody has to sit down and play the whole game, one, they won't know what the hell's going on. And two, there are some, like, really bad gameplay segments that are roadblocks. Though there are some QTEs in that are not kidding around. And it's fail states that are, like, legitimate game overs that kick you back to the start of the scene to try again and again and again and again. And that just builds frustration and makes it so bad it's bad. That Fahrenheit is a good example of what I'm talking about, where bad gameplay prevents you from saying that it's so bad it's good, because the gameplay can't support the kind of playthrough that you need to have in order to engage with the parts that are so bad it's good. Heavy Rain has very few fail states, much more generous with the QTEs. Somebody who's never played a video game before can get through Heavy Rain just doing button prompts. And the story at the same time, while still terrible, in a hilarious way, is not so inscrutable as Fahrenheit/Indigo Prophecy story, where it's like, can you even tell me what's going on at the end? He's fighting a golem made of the internet while being an ice zombie? Like, what? And, like, if you go up to somebody with no context and say, hey, have you heard of Indigo Prophecy? The main character is an ice zombie who fights a golem made of the internet. Like, that sounds like it'd be so bad it's good. But it's only in that pithy description. If you tried to show them the plot of him dying and becoming an ice zombie, and whatever the hell is going on to make a golem made of the internet that's not really ever explained, and also not really anything that makes any kind of sense, you're just gonna look at it like, what? It's not gonna be ha-ha bad. It's gonna be, what? Heavy Rain is much more easily... It's much easier to wrap your head around what's going on in Heavy Rain. And the gameplay's better. To the point that you can actually play the game. There are no frustrating roadblocks. Hey, we got to level 44. No, did we? Yes, we're level 44. That is, the UI on this is so weird that it turns to 45. It makes you think that you're level 45. But then I do this, and I am level 45. Like, what? I just went into the menu and it said 44, and now I'm 45. And it's... the UI is bad in Skyrim. Anyway. With that discussion done with, Jen's Duck, what is your problem that you don't like pizza? It's cheesy bread with extra stuff. How can you not like cheese and or bread? And then the extra stuff can be whatever the stuff you want. Like, if you don't like tomato sauce, get a white pizza, get a pesto pizza, get a barbecue pizza. The sauce doesn't have to be tomato sauce. The extra stuff can be meat, it can be veggies, it can be a mix, it can be... you know, it's whatever. How no like pizza? Anyway, all of this to say that I think, so far, the Centennial Case of Shijima story has that good enough gameplay and good enough writing that the English dub makes it hilarious. It is very funny and very playable if you are the type of person who can handle FMV mystery games. At $50, it's hard to recommend to everyone. But, like, if you liked Contradiction Spot the Liar, and you can swing $50, I'd recommend the game. If you liked Contradiction Spot the Liar and you're not sure you can swing $50, I'd recommend watching my Let's Play when it actually happens, because one, I need to finish an initial playthrough of the game, at least, and two, I need to tackle Dan and tie him to a chair so that he doesn't leave for work and we actually record a full Let's Play. And also Grace needs to be there, but I think Grace is less shackled to work than Dan is. That's my understanding anyway. I also have some bad news about the 3D printer. There is no way in hell it's arriving on time. It was supposed to arrive by this coming Tuesday, which is like the 17th or something. I forget. And I have not even gotten a notification that it has shipped. So, like, yeah, that's not arriving on time. I think I will be sending them a missive middle of the week to be like, hey, any idea when this will ship? I have not received a notification that it has shipped. And yeah, please do. Hey, Ham X3, or perhaps Ham times 3, or perhaps Ham's 3. I'm not sure. How's it going? Let me know if any of those iterations on your username was right. Apparently the first one was. Cool. How are you doing? You forgot how you found me. I'm guessing you found me through Cybershell's video about the Final Fantasy VII grind and mediocrity. That is how most people find me. There was indeed. These are true statements you are making. And now I'm leveling to 99 in Final Fantasy IX and also Skyrim, side by side, sort of. This split screen motif that I've just not iterated upon in a while, because I don't know how. Well, Final Fantasy VII is eminently doable. Especially if you're not live streaming this. I did not live stream most of Final Fantasy VII. I spent that time like watching Netflix and YouTube and catching up on shows and movies. And it was not mentally taxing for the most part. This run, I forget when I started it. It's been mostly an on and off affair. I've been trying to do it more regularly the past couple of weeks. So we are making somewhat steady progress. Unfortunately, it will take about another 3 years to finish Final Fantasy IX. Part of that is limitations on my ability to play. I've been trying to do 2-hour streams, and I'm not always successful just because of health conditions. Like, if I was able to do this 8 hours a day, if somehow I was a famous streamer and could just stream for a living, and could do this 8 hours a day, it would be less than a year from now that it would finish. So part of that is just my own circumstances, I guess. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII took me 500 plus hours at an estimate. It's been done in a little over 400. Back of the envelope calculations, I can talk, I promise, suggest that this will take a total of about 2,500 hours. So at least 5 times as long, potentially 6 times as long as Final Fantasy VII. I've done it with Final Fantasy VIII and Final Fantasy Tactics. Those were both very short. I did a kind of a joke video / stream of doing it in Super Mario World. I called it level 99, but I was actually getting 99 lives in Yoshi's Island 1. Like the first stage of Super Mario World. For the Final Fantasy VII Remake, there's no random encounters in the first reactor, So what I did instead was grind 99 Moogle medals. But once I finish Final Fantasy IX, I'll have done Final Fantasy VII, 8, 9, and Tactics, all of the original PlayStation Final Fantasies, and they'll all be on one memory card at level 99 in the starting area. And that will be an accomplishment, allegedly. And I will be able to I'll be able to sign the memory card and sell it for like $50. And won't that be cool? I know, this is better than an MNFT. You get an actual thing. I could not get through Final Fantasy X. Hell, I've never finished Final Fantasy VII. Or 8. And I won't play Final Fantasy IX after I finish this. The only PlayStation Final Fantasy game I've beaten is Tactics, in fact. I love Tactics. Tactics is great. Tactic, you want a mature story in a JRPG, Final Fantasy Tactics. It's basically the War of the Roses in a Final Fantasy setting. I don't know who Graf is. I don't know what girl you're talking about. My experience with Final Fantasy VIII is getting to level 99 in the starting area. Or is this something that happens in Final Fantasy XII? Because, like, I haven't really played that either. I rented that when I heard you were talking about Final Fantasy Tactics. Who the hell's... Oh, Gafgarian. Yeah, Gaffy. I know who you're talking about. Like, I didn't know Graf. Like, that name meant nothing to me. But Gafgarian, yeah. That's chapter 2? Yeah, I know where you're at. Don't worry about it. I got you. We're on the same page now. No, that's... have you tried that fight? Okay. I don't remember the exact enemy layout. If you focus fire on Gafgarian, he runs away at low health, so you don't need to deal all of his damage. So if you get a solid turn 1, you can pummel him turn 1 and he runs away. The archers can be a problem. I think there's a time mage, I may be mistaken. But the time mage is usually not an issue. Time mage hasting Gafgarian is an issue. But, you know, there's no guarantee that that happens. Especially if you rush him down. Alright, I need to use the little streamer's room. So I will be right back. I wonder if my be right back screen still works. It is not on here. Great, I don't have a be right back screen. I'm sorry. You know what? We'll just go back to the loop. That's fine. Sorry about that. Had Mexican for dinner. It's not sitting well. Hey, the Neko Gamer. How you doing? I'll have to remember to cut that out of the VOD for the YouTube upload, hopefully. I will hopefully remember to do that. So yeah, I don't remember what all of the enemies are with Gafgarian in that fight. It's not an easy fight. I remember that. I'll tell you that much. And obviously a lot of the strategy is going to depend on what classes you have available, what jobs you have available. So yeah, I can't really give you any specific advice outside of if you can Alpha Strike Gafgarian, he will run away at low health. You don't need to kill him completely. I wish I could be more helpful. But hey, maybe you come back the next time I'm streaming. Tell me what you have, what you did, what you tried, how it went. It's been quite a while, but I have done challenge runs of Final Fantasy Tactics. I've only tried a couple of speedruns. One kind of as a joke. I did some Wing Commander stuff for Super Nintendo. I technically have the world record on speedruns.com for the any percent bad ending Wing Commander speedrun. That's literally only because nobody else has done it on PC and submitted that time. Because Super Nintendo platform is just slower than PC for Wing Commander. It's just how the game engine works. And then when I did a Let's Play of Detroit Become Human, I capped that off with a speed run of the game. Partially to just have a go at speedrunning it, and partially because it would show off some different scenes and a different ending than what was shown in the Let's Play. So it was a chance to show off more content. And I think when I submitted that, it was in the top 10 of an admittedly not huge field. But I'm sure by now it has been pushed out of that top 10. Back when I did it, there was like one semi-consistent trick you could do to save some time, and then there was one trick that was like recently discovered, so it had no consistency. And my understanding is that since that time, both of those tricks have become more consistent to the point that you should be doing them in runs. So it's really just a question of how many people are running Detroit Become Human, speedrunning it. But yeah, it seems like speedrun content, there's like occasionally in Twitch chat people will ask me about speedrunning, but like on the Patreon and in the YouTube comments and things like that, not that many people seem interested in it. So I've thought about trying different speedruns, but the impetus has never really been there. And frankly, time spent speedrunning is time not spent grinding. And I've already kind of created too many distractions for myself. Alright, have a good night, Hammocks3. Thanks for tuning in. I guess I'll see you on the Discord. Thinking about it, I'm not sure I have a link to the Discord anywhere on my YouTube page. It might be in my YouTube About tab, maybe. I don't think it's in my description, though. Oh, well. It is not often used or taken very seriously, so that's fine. It is just kind of a chill place for folks I know to hang out. Well, you're probably closing the table topics. We're done with that. We had another stinker tonight, unfortunately. It happens, I guess. I just wish it wouldn't. The most sophisticated take on the internet. Bad things happen. I wish they wouldn't. You know what I'm not looking forward to with getting my own 3D printer, aside from the cleanup part, is if I'm gonna make custom stuff for like merch and or Patreon, I'm probably gonna need to learn how to 3D model at some point, and that's gonna suck. It's gonna be like, do I go with the steep learning curve of Blender? Do I go with the also steep learning curve of CAD software? Or do I go with a super basic thing like Tinkercad that is also not very sophisticated and will ultimately not do what I want it to do? Who knows? What would be nice for a start is something where I could import an image and be like, okay, you see these lines? I would like to add depth to these lines. It's kind of like you take a logo and you make it into like a coaster or token of some variety that has like just embossment and debossment. Nothing fancy, no added curves, no attempts at anything other than take lines that are present in image, add depth. Oh, I just realized that we were on 69. God damn it, I missed it. How very unnice. Well, I'm not sure I'll be able to make it another half hour, but I gotta try. Gotta try. I am turning to my cell phone to keep me alive and awake. I don't know whether this will pay off. This could go horribly wrong. Who can say? I did just heal in Final Fantasy, so I won't die to careless distraction. Already getting the yawns, though. That's not a good sign. Yeah, that's gonna be the real problem when I don't notice that a fight is over. That's gonna suck. Hey, we got the 90 sneak. Which means hopefully next stream we'll get another legendary under our belts. Would be nice. You know what else would be nice? Remembering to reconcile the fight counter. Which I don't believe I've done for a while. Or maybe I did it recently and just forgot. Because my brain doesn't work. You know, this phone game would be a hell of a thing to put in the third corner of the screen. And by a hell of a thing, I mean people would go, what the hell? Because I'm sitting here going, what the hell? I don't even want to say the name of this game, it's so weird. Yet another case of the false advertising. I'm seeing a weird number of former browser games and mobile games on Steam, by the way. Like, just recently, it seems Trimps was added to Steam, which was like, I think it was a .io site. It was a browser game that's just like an idle, incremental, whatever, with so many systems iterated upon one another that it's incredibly cumbersome. And it's like, you wouldn't think that an idle game could have a steep learning curve, but this is an idle game with a steep learning curve. And I don't know how they're monetizing it, because it looks like the Steam version's free to play. But, you know, nothing's actually free. Such is the way of things. I can't blame the phone for that. That's just me being tired and not thinking. Oh, I need to find some new tracks to add to this playlist to replace the ones I took out. This playlist is too repetitive. Hey, Opak. I'm training on this screen because this screen is consistent. It's been a hot minute since I last checked, but I'm pretty sure the boss is not many screens in. The screen after this one has these flower enemies. No, but the point is to do it before the boss. Like, that's the whole point. I also haven't played Final Fantasy IX before, but if there's some kind of escape sequence after the boss, is it really gonna allow saving and healing at that point? But yeah, this is predicated on doing it before the boss. And before the boss, this is the most consistent grinding spot. It's like in the room. I'm sorry, I'm all disjointed in my talking, but I'm super tired. Like, the screens past this had these giant flower enemies that inflict status effects that are actually problematic, because dark really hinders my ability to fight enemies. And if I remember right, they don't give better XP. And they can appear singly or in pairs. So any encounter where you have just a single enemy is immediately worse. But in this room, it's always two enemies. There are no status effects. You always one-shot them eventually. And they drop potions. Yeah, the plant, if it's the same plants as you fight randomly in here, they suck. They hit him with dark and he's missing most of his attacks. And I'd be relying on item drops to recover those. Hey, RMZ Brink. I'm not sure how I'm supposed to pronounce that. Thanks for tuning in. I don't know what those are, Opak. I've never played Final Fantasy IX before. During the setup for this run yonks ago, I played through the sequence. I got to the boss that's after this. I'm like, okay, there's the first boss. I need to get to level 99 before the first boss. Let's find the best spot. And as far as I can tell, this is the best spot. If there's a better spot before the boss, please let me know. But, like, the flowers that inflict dark are not worth fighting. Because dark is brutal as a status effect. Once I hit level 99, I'm gonna be done. I am not keen on playing this game to the end, just because this experience is showing me that Final Fantasy IX is way too reliant on gear for literally everything. And so I will have ruined my character by doing this. Much the same way that Final Fantasy VIII is basically impossible after grinding to level 99 in the starting area, due to level scaling. Only attack command challenge. See, if I was going to do a challenge run like that, I would probably do it in a game that I enjoy more, like Final Fantasy 6 or 4 or something. 4 might be too brutal. 4 is pretty rough without magic. For Skyrim, I am leveling to character level 99 in the starting area. That is why I'm sneaking against a wall in the... Wake up, mouse. My mouse falls asleep. In the tutorial cave in Helgen. So this is the bear that you're supposed to either archery, sneak attack, or just sneak past. So as long as it's sleeping there, and as long as I'm against this wall and close enough to the bear, I will grind sneak, and then gain levels. And when sneak hits 100, I make it legendary, which resets it back to 15. And then I continue to grind sneak. And after I make sneak legendary 26 times, and then gain some more levels in sneak, I will hit level 99. Skyrim will take a total of about 150 hours. Final Fantasy IX will take a total of about 2,500 hours. So I'm thinking after I do Skyrim, I should do something else. And also have that alongside Final Fantasy IX. And I've heard good things about a game called The Longing, which takes 400 days to complete. Well, it all started with a fella named Dick Tree. On a certain forum, Dick Tree said that he would get to level 99 in the first reactor in Final Fantasy VII. And for a while he did indeed work on that. And he'd post updates, And a small audience followed along, cheered him on, and at a certain point, he clearly had given up on it. He stopped doing it. Probably just didn't want to do it anymore. But rather than admit defeat, rather than be upfront about having burned out, he decided to troll the audience that was following him, who had been supporting him and cheering for him. And I was part of that audience, and I was pretty resentful of the fact that he decided to take to trolling. So I said, fuck Dictory, I'll do it myself. And there you go. Well, after the Final Fantasy VII thing, like the day after, I did a kind of a joke stream of getting to level 99 in Super Mario World, which was collecting 99 lives in the first stage. And, like, that was just kind of it for a while. And it got into my head that Final Fantasy Tactics has a weird XP scaling thing that means you can level consistently. And Final Fantasy VIII has enemies scaled to your level. So my understanding was that you can level quickly in that game as well. And I wondered which game was faster. What game can you more quickly grind to level 99? So I did a level 99 in the starting area. It was in the training area in Balam Gardens. I forget what it's called. It's training something. And then I did Final Fantasy Tactics in Mandalia Plains. Found out that Final Fantasy VIII took 12 to 13 hours. Final Fantasy Tactics took 5 to 6, if I remember right. So Final Fantasy Tactics was definitely faster. Which made me feel good, because Final Fantasy Tactics is a better game. He says, having never actually played Final Fantasy VIII. Well, that's how it started. I'm sorry to say that's not how it's ending. I let that lie for a while. And then it came into my head. I've done Final Fantasy VII. I've done Final Fantasy VIII. I've done Final Fantasy Tactics. If I do Final Fantasy IX, I will have done all of the PlayStation original Final Fantasies, and I'll have all of those level 99 starting area saves on one memory card. And won't that be neat? So here I am, having taken 6 hours to do it in Tactics, 13 hours to do it in Final Fantasy VIII, and about 500 and some hours. Rough estimate is 525, but I have no way of verifying that. So about 500 hours in Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy IX will take about 2,500 hours. I would be able to get Cloud and Barrett to level 99 5 times over in the time it will take me to get this idiot to level 99. Like, if I could do this full time, it would still take me close to a year to finish from now. As it stands, it'll take me about 3 years. The forum is still up. Me doing this is only one thread on that forum. It is not as if I am the focal point of the forum or anything like that. Well, I could always sign it and try to auction it off. Although, what I get for it will probably not justify the amount of time it took. Hey, Champ Valentine. That I know is sarcasm because I am not being eloquent at all right now. I am barely conscious. It doesn't help that I have a certain amount of cognitive decline thanks to various health issues. But the short version is I am in constant pain. And coping with the pain takes processing cycles away from everything else. So my brain, she no work. But hey, we crossed 15,000 XP to go to the next level. That's something. I think we'll take that opportunity slash momentous occasion that will only happen some number of times more. 30 something? 38? No, 37? I don't know. Math is hard. Especially when your brain doesn't work. Yeah, it's medical. It's not that the medical care is complicated so much as the medical condition is complicated. And the neurologist is not sure what is causing the migraines that are plaguing me. And therefore, we're just, what did I do? Like, my brain just immediately, I don't know what I just did. Did I do this yet? No, I did not sell items yet. See what I'm talking about? I don't even know what menus I've looked at. So yeah. Cause unknown. The goal is reduced to simply treating symptoms, and that is not being terribly successful. So it's all bad, but hey, we got that purple clock, or pink clock? So, somebody comment below whether you think this clock is pink or purple. Because I can't tell because my TV is set to literally be as dark as possible for the sake of said migraines. No, I need something stronger than just the weed stuff to mitigate the pain. Just like I also need to end this episode. That's a segue. If you're on YouTube and you made it to the end of this episode, the secret word tonight is mitigate. Post mitigate in the comments so that I know you got to the end. And also post if you know of a program that will let me turn a 2D image into a 3D model the way that I was talking about before. That'd be nice. I'm sorry to hear that you're colorblind. I have no experience with that, but I'm sure that is not the most fun experience. Thanks for joining me from Argentina, and thanks to everybody else who joined me. Until next time, take care.